IGCSmart. Today we will be talking about a new topic in IGCSE Mathematics called proofs. So they introduced proofs ever so recently in the Edexcel syllabus, so I decided to do a nice little cover of proofs. Okay, so there are two main things that you need to know in proofs, and that is how to denote an odd number and how to denote an even number. So, an odd number can be written down in the form of 2n plus 1. And an even number can be written down in the form of 2n. Here I must say it's either 2n plus 1, or you can also say 2n minus 1. Either way it will be an odd number. Why will it be an odd number? Well, let's have a look. Let's write down 2n plus 1. Actually, let's just write down 2n for now, and let's prove that 2n is an even number no matter what. Well, the definition of an even number is simply that it is divisible by 2. By saying 2n, we are ensuring that it will be divisible by 2, therefore making it an even number. If you just have a look at all of the numbers from 1 to 5, as I'm writing down now, you will see that if we highlight all of the even numbers and all of the odd numbers in a different color, you will see that they go one after the other. And this is some basic math, like this is intuitive, but it's necessary for the understanding of how these kind of proofs work, to understand why they work. So therefore, if we can define this as 2n, we can define this as 2n, this will be 2n minus 1, this will be 2n plus 1, and so on. Okay, that's odd and even covered. Now, essentially, most of the GCSE Mathematics proof just goes out of these odd and even definitions. So I will have a proof problem show up on the screen right now. Alright, so first we'll be focusing on this question. Prove that the sum of 3 consecutive integers is divisible by 3. So, let's first talk about 3 consecutive integers. What does that entail? And how can you write that down? So, you can say that n is some sort of integer. N is just some integer. Now, if we are going to go 3 consecutive, then we can say, alright, n minus 1, n, and n plus 1. These will be 3 consecutive integers. Why? Let's take 2 as n. 2 plus 1 will be equal to 3, and 2 minus 1 is 1. So 1, 2, 3. There, we get 3 consecutive integers. So prove that the sum, so sum, it means that we're adding, so we will be adding n minus 1 to n plus 1. Actually, just for the cleanness of it, let's add brackets over here as well. So what do we get? We get 1 to 3 n's, so 3n, plus 1 minus 1 is just 0. So we get 3n. Now 3n is divisible by 3. And this is where you would stop in your proof. You would just show that. And I prefer to write QED at the end, which is Latin for quaderat demonstrandum, which means which is what was asked to be shown, essentially. Okay, now let's have a look at another question that might come up. Prove that n plus 6 squared minus n plus 2 squared is always a multiple of 8. Now, just off the top of my head, I can see 2 different ways to start approaching this. Well, obviously, first you have to expand the brackets, right? That's pretty self-explanatory. And I would say probably the quickest and smartest way to do it is to expand it through a difference of squares. And let me just remind you what a difference of squares is. So a difference of squares is a squared minus b squared will always be equal to a plus b times a minus b. This is the entire idea of a difference of squares. And here we can just substitute n plus 6 into a, n plus 2 into b, and write that out. So that's what I would do in an exam, most likely, because it's much faster than using anything else. Because also when you are expanding it, just using the normal method, you can easily mess up in your working. And here's just, there's less place to mess up. 2n plus 8 multiplied by 4. We can take out the 2 from the brackets over here. We will get 2 times n plus 4 times 4. Therefore, 8 times n plus 4, which is obviously a multiple of 8. Q, E, D. That's pretty much it that we can cover in algebraic proofs in the GCSE syllabus. So yeah, thank you for watching and see you next time.